Hi, and welcome to Spanish Fork 17's high school pregame show. I'm your host, Ken Money, and I'm joined, as always,
Sam Higginson.
And Sam, we're ready for week 4 to start.
Yeah, we're 30 minutes away from a kickoff of the Region 8, and lots of exciting things happening up until this point. But of course, the real work happens now.
Oh, the games take on a whole different meaning. I think the suspense level, the pressure level on the players, the coaches goes up, and you could probably feel it.
Absolutely. It's an opportunity to learn what you've done in the preseason, and now you can kind of fix some of those things, change personnel, and then go into the region play, because these are the games that count to get into the state playoffs.
Perfect. And if people want to watch tonight live, tell us, people at home, how they can watch this.
So the Spanish Fork 17, you're going to be able to watch the Salem Spanish Fork game, big game. You're also going to be able to watch on 16 Maple Mountain and the Springville game, also a really big game, both 3-0 teams. That game is courtesy of KSL and Deseret Digital, but it is going to be carried live right here on Channel 16. So stay tuned, you can watch it all. Also, the YouTube channel, YouTube/Spanish Fork 17 or sfcn.org. So a lot of options to watch the game tonight.
That's exciting. So we have a great show. We're less than 30 minutes from kickoff. So we've got some great interviews, some highlights, some expert analysis by my co-host here, Sam. So when we come back from this break, we'll start, let's talk about Maple Mountain as soon as we get back.
All right.
Welcome back to our high school pregame show, Sam. Maple Mountain getting ready for a big game with the crosstown rival Springville. Doesn't get much bigger for the Golden Eagles.
No, it doesn't. Both 3-0 teams, both of them coming in off of 3 big wins. Played some really tough opponents, both teams. You know, you saw what Dixie did to Alta last week, so there's a lot of great things that are going on. Big game. And Mitch Marshall, one of our commentators, had an opportunity to sit down with Jarrin Hall earlier in the week and talk to him a little bit about going into region and about their game last week. So let's take a look at that interview now.
What have you seen your team do that's shown a lot of progress?
I mean, they don't give up. Their attitudes are great at all times. The Corner Canyon game is a great example of that. I mean, I had 4 picks the first half, but never once was there a negative comment from one of them. I mean, every time I came off the sideline, they're picking me up, telling me I got this, they got trust in me. I mean, they're just fighters to the end.
You had a couple picks this week as well, so there are a handful of turnovers. What are you doing to make sure that doesn't happen?
Smarter reads. I got to settle down, not try to make plays that aren't there. You know, just keep my head and realize, you know, I got to do what's best for the team and not try to make those big plays when they're not there.
All right, so you're headed into region play. Can you tell us why that just gets that much more important?
I mean, this is what rides on the playoffs. You know, all the games before this doesn't matter. All the hype we have coming into it, you know, it doesn't mean anything. Now it really counts. Every game, every loss. I mean, it all plays into playoff, you know, playoff seeding and whatnot. And I mean, we like to come out on top. So this is when it really counts.
Can you talk about your defense a little bit, because your offense is expected to score points, and that's your responsibility. But there have been points where your defense is bleeding, but then they're able to force punt after punt to let you guys get back into the game. What are they doing well?
The defense, they don't give up. I mean, Jordan Larson, Jarrett Boyer, Noel in the middle. I mean, they keep that defense going, those young guys. I mean, they keep it pounded in their heads, play and play again. You know, remember your responsibility. Everyone get to the ball. And, I mean, they've kept us in every single ball game we've been in so far and let our offense have so many opportunities with good field position. So they're doing a great job. I expect the same Friday.
Do you have any, what's the scouting report on Springville? What are you seeing from their defense that you're going to be able to take advantage of?
I mean, they're big and physical, but I think our speed matches theirs and our strength and workouts in the summer. I mean, I think we'll be great, but we got to make sure we come in and play tough and play up to their physicality.
Hey, Jarrin Hall, what a stud player he is. The guy, you know, committed to BYU earlier in the year, has a bright future ahead of him, but it's interesting to see that they had such a comfortable win considering the fact that he had 4 or 5 picks in last game. But he talked about the importance of having a really good defense behind you to make up for some of those things.
He had 4 interceptions in the first half, but I'm still telling you, if there was a fantasy league for high school players,
he's
my #1 pick because
absolutely.
he can do it all. So yeah, it was really fun to watch him in the end. You know what? He was not down after 4 picks. He just came out and tore it up in the second half. So, and then also the guys that are kind of making it happen in front of him, offense and defensively. Mitch had a minute to talk to Garrett Blanthorne, and so it looks like looks like a big, strong guy, and he kind of had some information on kind of what he thought about being a leader and time to step up. And let's hear what he had to say.
You've been playing really well. You're leading the team in tackles and sacks. Did you expect to have a big season like this?
Well, I started last year, so coaches kind of saw me as being a big leader, and I've stepped up and I've shown on the field that I can lead and do good.
So the defense, 2 weeks ago you gave up 30, but you cut that in half this week. What changed from week to week where you're really able to shut down an offense?
Well, we just worked hard, I guess, like on during practice, and we just watched film and we just knew what they were going to do, and we were just going and playing hard, and just good things happened.
With Jarrin and your offense, people kind of expected some big things, but the defense has really held up their end and kept this team in games late. What are you guys doing as a unit to make sure that you're handling your side of the ball?
Well, like if anything goes bad, we still just keep our heads up, or we never really keep our heads down. We just go hard and the whole time, and it's always gone good for us.
Garrett Blanthorne is a stud player, and I had a chance to coach him when he was in 8th grade, and I knew he was going to be a great player, and it's coming to fruition now. But one of the important things also in that game that came to fruition and helped allow them to become successful was special teams.
Oh yeah, a kicker, first-year kicker comes out, Tanner Dayton, and he had big kicks. I mean, what a such a weapon for Coach Burnshaw to have on his offense when it's 4th and 7 and you're the 35-yard line. You come out and kick a field goal instead of going for it or having to punt. And he had 2 long kicks over 40 yards, 41 and 47 yards, I believe, and huge weapon for
Has
them.
aspirations to continue his game.
And that's when he talked about, he talked about wanting to maybe kick at the next level. And if he's kicking 47-yard field goals, because
he's got a shot.
He really does have a shot. So, and he kind of shared some of his feelings about his first year out and how excited he is about playing football for Maple Mountain.
You sneaked out a couple of victories, but then you had a big one last week, and you kicked, was a 41 and a 47-yarder. How'd that feel?
It feels great. I love just getting the opportunities to get out in the field. I'm not out very much, so it feels good to get out in the field. So.
Help and contribute. What's going so well for this team that you guys are going to head into region play 3-0?
Honestly, our defense is stepping up big. I mean, coming into the season, I thought we were going to have a strong offense, which we do, but our defense is stepping up big time for us. So.
Special teams seem to be doing good. What are you most excited about going forward?
Just hitting more field goals, man. I'm excited to get out in the field whenever I can. So just put some points on the board, help contribute to my team.
So not many high school kickers can consistently kick over 40 yards. Are you looking at taking football to the next level, or would you do that with soccer? What's your post-school plan if you have one?
I really do want to go into football. I mean, I'm looking at Utah State and Boise State and all these schools. BYU's already got a kicker, unfortunately. I'd love to go there, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to hopefully stepping up to the next level. So.
You know, Ken, it was really fun to see Tanner Dayton's highlights this week, and what a weapon that is to have a kicker at the high school level that can come in and pick up those 3 points and almost guarantee that PAT after the touchdown.
He's feeling the football. He's got his arms full. He's got his Army hat on. You can tell he's loving it. He's living large. And then we had also a chance to talk with Coach Burnshaw. Really, as you look at it, a big coaching week for him because he had to get his team ready to go against probably a better team in North San Pete than people give credit to. They're good athletes. They're a 4A school. And with Springville coming the next week, he had to keep his guys focused. Probably one of the more difficult coaching things he had to do all season long. To avoid that letdown, and they didn't. They came out and played really strong. And Coach Burnshaw talked a little bit about where he feels the state of the team is right now and what they need to do to be successful this week as they travel to Springville.
What's going well?
The players are just preparing really well. They're doing a really good job of handling information and things we're trying to teach them and implementing that in the game plan, and they're playing confident, and we have a veteran group of leaders, and they're doing a great job right now.
Have there been any surprises or things that have really just stepped up in your eye that you didn't know were going to be there 3 weeks ago?
I think some of the younger guys that are contributing right now, a lot of the juniors are doing a really good job right now that I think we'd always hoped, but you never really knew until the game started. And I think they're doing a good job and improving and gelling with that senior group of leadership, and I think that's really helped us.
On the other side, where do you want to see the team step up as you head into region play?
I just want to see them improve each day. It doesn't need to be a really big leap each week. I think it's just little things right now. Preparing, just little things on special teams, little things on how we block or how we tackle, how we pursue, and cleaning up some of the mistakes we made in the past games.
Did it feel good to take care of business a little bit this week after some close calls?
It was a little easier on me, that's for sure. North San Pete's a good team. And they're solid all the way across, have a great running back, and I was just really proud of how our kids played and responded to him.
Speaking of good teams, you're going into region play with Springville, who a lot of people said after Tim Few left may win this region this year. They are undefeated so far. What's the scouting report on Springville?
They're solid. Solid all the way across. They're always very good fundamentally. They're physical. They like to dominate the line of scrimmage and really run the ball at you and play action behind that. So, you know, I think we've got to try to match that as best we can and try to slow that down and try to give our offense as many chances as possible.
Hey, and there you have it from Maple Mountain, both coaches and players. A huge, huge game tonight right here on Channel 16. It's going to be an exciting time. We're about 18 minutes away from kickoff.
18 minutes from kickoff, and when we come back from this break, we're going to talk a little bit about Spanish Fork and their big game tonight at Salem Hills. And we'll be right back after this. Hey, welcome back to Spanish Fork 17's pregame high school football show. We're at week 4. Sam, let's talk a little bit about Spanish Fork.
Well, one big game. We already talked about the Maple Mountain Springville game, both 3-0 teams. We have Salem Spanish Fork, a divided community, coming together to play in this game. They have
Civil
a
War.
Night. Yeah, it's
families against families.
Absolutely. Lots of family ties. We'll talk about that a little bit later in the show. But I had a chance yesterday to talk to Landon Jensen, junior linebacker, had a huge preseason. And he talked to me a little bit about the identity of this defense. Let's take a look. Landon, big game this week. How do you guys feel right now?
Feel really good about it. We're all pumped up, ready to go, knock some heads.
Is this a game that you guys sometimes kind of get overhyped for?
Yeah, we're all probably a little nervous, but we're also ready for the game. So.
All right, Landon, you have you got your preseason over with. The defense has had a chance to kind of build itself an identity. What would you say the identity of the Spanish Fork Don defense is?
Hitting hard, swarming to the ball, and that's about it right there.
Seems like you guys have an emphasis on flying to the ball. I notice in practice and at the games, everybody seems to get over and touch the ball runner. Is that something you guys work on?
Yeah, we do pursuit drills every practice, working on getting the person with the ball, making the tackle.
All right, last question. What do you think we're going to see from the defense this week?
A lot of hard work, making plays, doing what we're supposed to do.
Landon Jensen's had a huge preseason for the Dons. A couple of big sacks come to mind, and he is a huge cog in that defense.
Absolutely, and probably the presence on defense, the keystone for Coach Smith's defense at this point so far has been big number 47, Salofa Funa. Senior captain, had a great game, and he talked a little bit about, I thought it was interesting about him and the brother rivalry. He's on one end of defense, his brother's on the other end, and the only thing he could think about is 3 great games is the fumble he had in the first game, how he wanted to correct it. Typical of an athlete. Let's hear what Salofa had to say about the preseason up to this point.
Coming off a huge victory in Timpanogos, you actually had 3 touchdowns yourself. Tell us a little bit about what you think you got from the preseason.
From the preseason, I learned a lot. I learned from that first game how I fumbled. I learned not to do that ever again. I also learned how to discipline myself on defense and offense, both sides of the ball, and work great with my team.
Now, your little brother, Mace Funa, plays on the opposite side of you. He's got 2 defensive touchdowns. How many have you got so far?
I just have 1. Just kidding. I don't have any yet. But along the season, I'll get mine.
Yeah, you got to beat little brother for sure. Do you have to find things throughout the game to kind of keep your energy up? Do you ever have to take plays off, things like that?
Yeah, I'm a human, so I'll get tired eventually. But Coach Smith's been conditioning us, so I'm better conditioned than last year.
Although Salofa doesn't have 2 touchdowns like his younger brother Mace, he really has been the cornerstone, the keystone of that defense, and is just a stud. 47's all over the field. You're going to see that tonight.
Without question. Let's go to the other side of the ball for a minute, talk offense. And there's been not a big play player, may not be the biggest in stature, but the guy that's made it happen on the long plays, and that's number 88, Jackson Dickinson, somebody that you're pretty familiar with.
Yeah.
First of all, I want to know who's letting him wear that thing in his hair. You're going to see a little later. And these haircuts are crazy. We'll talk about that. But Jackson's had a great year, and just as hard as big as the whole football field, and done some great things. It's fun to hear what he said about playing with some friends from Salem Hills and what their plans may be after the game. Let's take a look at what Jackson had to say.
Jackson, you've been through the preseason. You've caught a few touchdowns. Starting to feel like you're getting into some rhythm. Talking to Nate Kiesel, your quarterback, feels like the rhythm is starting to happen. This week is a particularly big game for a lot of guys on this team, Salem Spanish Fork and the rivalry. You have an opportunity to play against Jens Higginson, your cousin, your first cousin. Joel Higginson, the head coach over at Salem, is your uncle. In addition to that, some of your best friends, Cooper Smith and Sam Callister and Keen Christensen. Tell us a little bit about, does the game mean a little bit more this week?
Yeah, definitely. playing against your friends, it's always going to mean a lot more because it's, you know, your competitive edge. You're always talking crap back to each other, so it means a lot more, definitely.
Will you guys go out to dinner after the game or hang out after the game at all?
Yeah, we already planned on going to IHOP after the game, and eat, whether win or lose. I don't know if that's going to happen because one team might be a little bit more mad than the other, but yeah.
All right, tell us a little bit about Nate Kiesel and what he's doing. How do you think he's progressing as a new quarterback in this system, and where does the offense stand right now?
Our offense, I think we stand really well right now. Nate, coming from a team that ran the ball a lot, he's really developed into a great quarterback to be able to pass the ball the way he is. So I mean, our offense is starting to click a lot more.
All right, well, hopefully your Uncle Joel doesn't do anything too crazy to try to shut you down this weekend, and good luck out there.
Yeah, thank you.
You know, it is a lot of fun. Jackson gets to play against his Uncle Joel, who's the head coach of Salem Hills. Jordan Smith, the head coach of Spanish Fork, plays against his younger brother, Cooper Smith, the star player for Salem. So a lot of fun family rivalries. Talk about a community divided. It really is happening tonight. So
Absolutely.
It's kind of
fun. And we're less than 10 minutes away from kickoff. But before we go, we want to take just a quick minute to listen to the Spanish Fork's quarterback, Nate Kiesel, who had a great preseason. And by the way, looks like he goes to the same barber that your son does, that same hairstyle. I think me and you need to wear one of those in our hair for next week. We'll work on it. But let's hear what the quarterback, Nate Kiesel, had to say about the preseason up to this point.
And Region 8 opener starts against Salem this week. Why don't you break down the preseason for us?
I thought preseason, both sides of the ball, we looked pretty solid. I think I had a lot of things that I need to work on. Receivers, we need to work more together and be more successful together. Offensive line, I thought they've been doing a great job. Defense has been all around looking outstanding, and I thought for preseason we looked pretty good, and I think we'll be ready for the region.
As a new quarterback, it's something that everybody has to look at, the coaches, the fans, everybody on the team. Can you find a new rhythm with this offense? And that's something that, as a new quarterback, you know, that's a tough thing. You have to have those preseason games to do it. How do you feel right now in terms of finding that rhythm?
I think that after the preseason, I settled in with the offense, been working really hard with the new offense, and I think I'll be ready to go out and work out on the field, and I think we'll all be ready.
All right, you guys excited for the big game coming up against Salem Hills tonight?
Yeah, we can't wait. We're ready. We're ready.
Ken, your son Jason was the quarterback last year, and one thing that you learned as a quarterback dad is that they have to find a rhythm on offense, and that's exactly what they're hoping to do starting Region 8 play right now.
And it looks like they're there. They're full stride as they get ready to start region, so it's good. In fact, the guy that kind of makes that happen on offense is the offensive coordinator, Coach Condi, and we had a chance to talk to him. I thought it was interesting. You know, he's been there for a long time. He's seen 3 different head coaches come and go since 2006. He was actually the offensive coordinator, I believe, when Jordan Smith, who's now the head coach, was playing at that time. So that's fun. But, you know, as you think about Spanish Fork, and a lot of people think that way, it's a throw first, run second kind of a school and offense. If he had his way, he would pass the ball 90% of the time. And he talks a little bit about that when you question him about that. And he kind of maybe set it straight. He would rather establish the run than go to the pass. I thought that's interesting. So let's hear what Coach Condi had to say about his offense up to this point.
How do you guys as a coaching staff approach this in terms of keeping your guys in check emotionally?
Well, we've asked our kids to, I mean, it is a big game, and everybody knows it's a big game. Our kids know it's a big game. So we've asked them just to come out and be prepared, understand what their assignments are, let the game flow. When you come out and you get all hyped and spend all of your energy in the first few minutes or the first quarter of the game, then you tire yourself out. So just come out and be ready for a dogfight. We know it's going to be a lot of energy and a lot of intensity, but come out and just let the game flow, know our assignments, and just go out and play football. And after the first few plays, the first few hits, the game just, you know, takes over, and we're able to just go play football.
Yeah, no matter the talent level, these games are going to come down to the last play typically. They have done the last couple of years, and I think the talent was a little lopsided one way or the other. And the outcomes really didn't maybe, you know, tell who the best team was. We expect to see something this week where we got to kind of take control of the ball and minimize the mistakes.
Well, that's a big thing for our offense, is we got to control the ball. Our offense really clicks when we're able to run the ball and control the line of scrimmage, and that's what happened in our Orem game. So, you know, we anticipate going out there Friday night and just do our best to control the line of scrimmage and be able to run the football. And once we're able to do that, then that gives us a lot of options as far as what we want to do as an offense.
Every team has an identity. Some teams are a running first team. Some teams are a pass first team. Do we have an identity at Spanish Fork? And if so, is it what you want it to be right now, considering that we've played 3 preseason games?
Well, I think that's one of the things that a lot of people have always thought about me, is that I'm a real happy pass guy. And, you know, if you watch the Orem game, we were very happy pass, and it didn't work out well for us. So I think one of the things that's important for our offense is to be able to run the football. We want to be a physical team, and we want to be a team that controls the line of scrimmage. Once we're able to establish the run game, then it opens up the pass for us. And so that's one of the things that we really try to do as an offense is be as physical as we can, run the ball. You know, if we get 3 or 4 yards of play, there's a whole lot you can do when you're calling an offense on 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3. If you're in 3rd and 10, 3rd and 15, your playbook's really small. So it's really important for us to be able to run the ball and put ourselves in good situations where we have a high success of getting first downs.
All right, well, it looks like last week we were able to put some of that together and run the ball a little bit more effectively, which in fact did, you know, open up the passing game a lot. We expect to see a lot of that this week, and good luck. We're excited about the game.
Hey, thank you very much. Yeah, and it's big for us. You know, we have Lofa. He's such a horse, and when we have him available to have us on offense, you know, he's hard to stop. So in that Orem game, you know, our defense was on the field that whole second half, and if you see that Friday night, we're in trouble. But if we're able to get 3 and outs and get on offense and give the ball to Lofa and let him pound the ball at him, we'll be in good shape.
Hey, I got the impression when I was talking to Coach Condi that he doesn't feel that they're exactly where they want to be, but that's exactly what you'd expect of the offensive coordinator after the preseason. They hope to put it all together moving into the region.
Never satisfied.
Yeah, never satisfied.
Okay, very good. Hey, we're just about 5 minutes. What does the scoreboard say? We about 5 minutes.
About
5 minutes from kickoff. So let's take a quick break. We'll come back and we'll get things set up ready for the kickoff of both games in Spanish Fork and
Springville.
Hey, welcome back to Week 4's pregame kickoff show for Spanish Fork and Maple Mountain. We are just minutes away. Sam, I'm excited for kickoff.
Yeah, and for those of you that are watching this and you want to share it with your friends and family, make sure that they go to sfcn.org. They can go to the YouTube channel at YouTube/Spanish Fork 17, or watch it right here, both games on channel 16, courtesy of KSL and Deseret Digital, or right here on channel 17, the Spanish Fork Salem game. So you have a number of options. There's no excuse to miss this game live.
Don't miss the game. I'm going to put you on the spot real quick before kickoff. I want a prediction. I want to know what your feeling is. Salem Hills, Spanish Fork. Your brother's head coach at Salem Hills. Your son's the #1 receiver for Spanish Fork. Give me a winner and points.
I'm going to go with Spanish Fork in the Salem Spanish Fork game, 27-24. I know it's going to be a tight one, but I think that we have just a little bit more talent this year. I think we're going to push through it, despite the fact it's over there.
Okay.
The Maple Mountain Springville game, I'm going to go with Maple Mountain. I think they're rolling really hard right now, and I think that they're going to roll on through a win.
Through Springville, very good. And I would, one recommendation when Thanksgiving comes, sit on the opposite end of the table
Yeah,
with your brother.
sure.
And we are just minutes away, so there's no excuse. Get down. There's a perfect night for football.
Oh, it's going to be beautiful.
You can just feel football
Veterans
in the air.
night over in Salem. It's going to be awesome. So, yeah.
So thanks for joining us here on our pregame show. We're excited. We are ready to kick off Region 8 play, and we're just minutes away from kickoff. So if you're not there, be sure and follow the game here on Spanish Fork 17. And thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks for joining us. Hey, we want to give a special thanks and a shout out to our sponsor for the high school pregame show right here on SFCN, to Salem Chevron and Burger King.